All right, here we go. I think this is really weird. I I keep starting this up. I've never had a problem with this before, but I'm not seeing my comments working. This is really weird. Hmm, interesting. Well, my apologies. My apologies so much for this. I don't know why my comments are not enabling. Um, Something going on with YouTube. I'm allowing it when I set it up, and it's going away. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open my Instagram post because I did post for this, and if you have a comment, go ahead and just post that to my Instagram post for this show, and I'll just read the comments as they come across, and if you have anything to say. And yeah, this is really weird. I don't know what's going on with um with my YouTube live stream, so it won't let me enable comments. I don't know why. But anyway, yeah. So this is episode 12 of the Space Oats podcast. This is a Crucial Crew podcast. I am the Crucial Crew member, and man, there's a lot of stuff going on. So I had titled this, and it kind of went away because I had to restart this. But the title of this podcast is going to be "Happy First" because man, lots going on. Lots happened in this week that had been a lot of cool firsts. So to buoy to that, right? So we're going to jump right in with probably what everybody's excited about, and that being The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1. So here we go. The first episode of Mandalorian Season 3 released last week. We got Episode 2 getting dropped tonight, but let's talk a little bit about Episode 1. A lot of cool things happened in Episode 1. A lot of things that were exciting. A lot of stuff going on in this episode, for one thing. I actually thought there was a little bit too much going on, honestly. Um, but a lot of cool things happened, and it was pretty cool to like see some things. There was a lot of shockers, a lot of cool tie-ins to some other series. So the episode was titled "The Apostate." You can kind of, it carries on exactly where Mando was kind of left off in the little Mandalorian 2.5 that happened in the Book of Boba Fett. So this is where really the key factor came in: is did you watch Book of Boba Fett? Because there's some things going on that tie in from episode 2 to episode 3. If you didn't watch Book of Boba Fett, you're really lost right now. You don't know why is Grogu back. Uh, all this stuff is going on. What is his mission going on here? All that's explained in the Book of Boba Fett episodes where Mandalorian shows up. So if you haven't watched the Book of Boba Fett and you're confused about what's going on in the Mandalorian, don't watch episode 2. Go back, watch the Book of Boba Fett episodes, at least the ones that are pertaining to Mandalorian, which honestly, when you get to those episodes, you might as well. I mean, it takes you to the end of Book of Boba Fett, and those are some of the best episodes anyway, in my opinion. So yeah. So I mean, watch the whole series. It's a good series. I liked Book of Boba Fett. So, but anyway, um, Mandalorian season 3, episode 1. So we get Mandalorian, with Grogu, now in the Naboo starfighter, as they're traveling to basically he's trying to redeem himself. So basically, he's considered an apostate because he removed his helmet, and that is the way of that he's been taught to follow as far as the Mandalorian creed that he's going under. Which is a lot different from some of the other Mandalorians that we know. We know that story was developed with when he ran into Bo-Katan, Boba Fett, so forth. We got a lot of different Mandalorians, so that's his upbringing, how he was trained to be a Mandalorian. So we he's got to go and bathe in the waters of Mandalore, basically, is the whole key. So can he go back to Mandalore? Is there anything left on Mandalore? That's going to be the question once we get there. How long is it going to take to get there? We don't know. I'm guessing it's going to take a while. I'm guessing this is going to be, there's going to be a lot of stuff. There was a lot of things set up in this episode that you can see there's going to be a lot of side quests going on here. There was travels to Navarro, try to rebuild IG-11. I kind of thought that was a little unnecessary. I didn't really care for that too. I mean, there was some cool scenes with Grogu and the Anzellans, but as far as rebuilding IG-11, I mean, IG-11 was a great character, but I think they should just let that character go, honestly. So hopefully, I mean, it didn't work out. It seems like he's gonna try to still get him because he's got to get a new chip or memory chip. I don't know. I kind of wish IG-11 was just gone and done. Grief Karga, man, he's chief magistrate of Navarro. Navarro is looking great, by the way, and a lot of cool things going on there. As far as going, he visits the Mandalorians. They fight off this big alligator thing. That was a cool scene to open it up. And then he goes to visit Bo-Katan. She's been abandoned because she didn't get the Darksaber. So all of her followers have done and left her. So she was alone in her castle, which kind of, that's kind of crazy. I mean, I guess, it's not, I don't know. I kind of weird that they abandoned her. I mean, yeah, she didn't get the Darksaber, but, it really wasn't her fault. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot going on. The one thing that was really, really super cool to me that like blew me away when I saw it, and I was just like, "Oh, that's pretty cool," was seeing the Purgle. Honestly, that was my favorite part of the episode. Was the Purgle, seeing him in hyperspace, because we've only ever seen him in Rebels, so it was pretty cool to actually see them kind of in live action. So we know they exist because that's a hint of some things to come, maybe with Ezra, maybe. In the Ahsoka series and finding Ezra and all that good stuff. So pretty cool to see the Purgle. So pretty amazing. I'm thinking that somehow, I don't know if Sabine's going to show up in Mandalorian season 3, but I do think that we're going to see somebody from Clan Ren show up at some point. Either, and I mean, don't know if Sabine's mom is still alive, but somebody from Clan Ren, I think, is going to show up at some point. So that's going to be my prediction. And again, I don't think they're going to really get to Mandalore until like the end of this series, honestly. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, I really don't know, but I'm really looking it so far. First episode impressions, not my favorite of the 3 seasons so far. So, but we'll see. Hopefully, we get some cool stuff. So I just thought there was a lot of like movement around, going everywhere, here and there, everywhere. Yeah, just the way the story flowed, it didn't just sit right with me. So, but we'll see what happens tonight with this episode that drops tonight, and get to watch that tomorrow. So, but yeah, The Mandalorian season 3. Let me know what you think in my Instagram comments. Obviously, you can't do it in the YouTube comments. This really makes me mad, honestly. But yeah, let me know what you think in my Instagram. My Instagram post is The Crucial Crew Member. So if you're not following me there, The Crucial Crew Member on Instagram. And yeah, let me know what you think about Mandalorian season 3, episode 1. What else did we got going on here? The Bad Batch, season 3. Or season 3, The Bad Batch season 2 episode, I think it was episode like 11, I think. It was entitled Metamorphosis. I out of the 2 things that were released, which really surprised me, I thought I was going to enjoy Mandalorian a lot better. And honestly, I think I enjoyed the Bad Batch episode better than the Mandalorian. And I guess maybe because, we're already established, we're halfway through the season. This was a great episode tying back to the Clone Wars because we have the Zillo Beast showing up. And the Zillo Beast is just kind of crazy, like that Godzilla-like creature. I really enjoyed this episode because at first you didn't know. I mean, okay, you did know it was the Zillo Beast if you looked at the still shot from Disney Plus. So this is where I kind of got a little irritated because if you pulled up Disney Plus and you looked at the still shot, you saw that it was the Zillo Beast. So it's like, why didn't they keep that like a mystery until halfway through the episode? Because really, when it starts off, you don't really know it's the Zillo Beast. It's just like this alien creature, which really cool. It had that like horror feel to it. We always think about different genres that Star Wars keeps pulling from, and to me, it felt like Aliens in the beginning. On the ship with the loose, like smaller version of the Zillo Beast before it actually grew in size. And yeah, I loved that. I love the feel of that. Just the not seeing the creature and just the clones like disappearing on the ship and or not really the clones. It's kind of, I don't know what you call those troopers that were on there, but the squad that was on there protecting the beast. But it was really cool feel. And then that ship crashed into that planet. Bad Batch gets diverted to go check this out. Sid kind of puts him on this mission, and they following Sid, even though, Sid abandoned him. So, but they're like, at one more mission type of deal. So we'll see what happens with that relationship. Probably going to kind of go to head when they get in a physical space together, I think. But then they get to that planet. They don't really know what it is. Zillo Beast gets to its big size. There's no way of beating it, at least for them. The Empire, they obviously know how to tame the Zillo Beast. And then we get that whole secret base on Talos. And Lama Su and the Prime Minister, they're trying to work with these more experiments with the clones. And that's where the Zillo Beast is taken. So the Zillo Beast, that indestructible armor. So, kind of maybe creating this like super soldier version of the clones is maybe what the next phase of the clones was supposed to be. Obviously, I don't think that ever happened. If it did, it got taken down, obviously, before A New Hope. But one of the things that was really cool that I kind of thought of when you think of the Zillo Beast, and one of the comments is like that armor is too strong for blasters. You think about the AT-ATs, and you wonder if like that maybe some of the armor from the ship, from the AT-ATs, kind of came from learning about the Zillo Beast and the Zillo Beast hide, and using that in their technology for the armored transports. And the reason why they were so strong and not being able to be like shot down by the rebellion and the snow speeders and so forth. That armor being so strong, maybe that was part of synthetic hide that was used in the armor. So pretty cool thought. I thought of it. I didn't know if anybody else kind of picked up on that, but kind of want to know what everybody's. What did you prefer? Do you watch Bad Batch? I'm sure pretty much everybody is Mandalorian watcher, but are you into the Bad Batch? Did that episode stand up to the Mandalorian episode? Did you enjoy it better? I mean, honestly, I think I actually enjoyed the Bad Batch episode better than the Mandalorian episode. So we'll see how that goes forward coming out tomorrow. So we'll see what happens there. We got a couple more announcements for Star Wars Celebration. We're going to talk about that a little bit because obviously in dealing with first, this is going to be my first celebration out of the country, and it's less than a month away. Can't believe this. I'm already getting really excited. Can't wait to get my badges and get on that plane and get out there to London and see some people that I know that are going, have some good times with them. And they announced the lineup of some of the panels. Super excited about some of that. And yeah, I don't even know what I'm going to do yet. I mean, I literally just read the panel lineup of some of the what's going on in certain stages each day, and I don't know what I'm going to hit yet. So obviously, there's going to be a lot more panels, and some of them might be smaller. Maybe we want to go to those, and I'm sure they'll release a little bit more. But we did have some more confirmed guests for Star Wars Celebration. We had Michelle Ang, the voice of Omega. Obviously, there is a Bad Batch Season 2 panel that's been talked about, so we will we'll see that. And then also Simon Cassianidis, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but he portrayed the Mandalorian warrior Axe Woves, which basically was with Bo-Katan. I think it was, what was that, season 2 of the Mandalorian. So does that mean he's coming back sometime in this season? We'll have to find out. That'll be pretty interesting. But yeah, lots of cool guests going to be at Celebration. I'm super excited about Celebration. Can't wait. This will be the last one for a couple years because they're not going to do one next year, so we've heard. Kind of disappointed in that. I was really hoping for one coming back to Orlando, but if I'm going to go 2 years, this is going to be a good one to lay low with for a while, get my funds back together, because this is an expensive trip. So yeah, there was so again with the panels, there was also some of the art shows, like previews, some things like who some of the artists are going to be there. I love walking around. I'm not a big Star Wars art person. I got a bunch of posters and things like that, but I'm not really big on Star Wars art. I just don't have the space for it, honestly. I would totally be a Star Wars art. I love art, so I got a lot of Disney art, and I would probably have tons of Star Wars art if I could get into it. But there was some cool screenshots of Mando that were released on StarWars.com, as well as of some of the concept art for some of the episode season 3 episode 1 that were pretty cool to scroll through. But yeah, so much stuff. Mando merch came out, some more Mando merch. I was just actually seeing this. I didn't even notice this earlier today. I think it literally just dropped a little while ago on StarWars.com. So we got, I'm just going to scroll through some of this. There was a reveal. There's going to be, there's a release of Mando's N1 Starfighters speed run. So this is cool. This is Hasbro. And it looks like it's got Din Djarin and Grogu that can be placed in and out of the cockpits, both of them. So that's pretty cool. We have Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. There's going to be, if anybody plays that, I played it a little bit. I like it. I just don't have time for games. And I don't like to have stuff on my phone either. And yeah, so I really don't get a lot of time to play it, but it's on one of my tablets. And but you can unlock, you can play through the tutorial and unlock Moff Gideon and the Dark Trooper, which is pretty cool. The Dark Troopers. Moff Gideon would be pretty cool too. I wonder if it's the version with the Darksaber. That would be pretty awesome. And then you can unlock the Mandalorian's Bounty event, which you can collect more characters from season 1 and 2. So if you're a Galaxy of Heroes fan, check that out. There is also going to be, there's releasing Star Wars The Mandalorian Precious Cargo Blend from Joffrey's. So I'm actually kind of curious as if they're going to have that down at Disney Springs or something. I'd like to go grab some of that. Joffrey's is a company that Disney has a really close tie relationship with. They serve Joffrey's coffee pretty much at every resort on property, as well as they have Joffrey's locations in the parks and also at Disney Springs. So It's great. It's pretty good coffee, honestly. I like it. It's not my favorite, but I prefer it over Starbucks. Um, and it's got like a Grogu on the package, which is pretty neat. We have Lego. If you're a Lego person, there's released Lego Star Wars a pirate snub fighter, which those were pretty cool. Um, I think actually those were in some of the video games. That's kind of like they brought those back, those concept designs for those snub fighters, which is pretty neat. So we were introduced to a new character, by the way, with that pirate is the Pirate King Gorian Shard. Don't know how I feel about him either. Some of these characters sometimes, I don't know. He kind of almost seems like a Hondo character, but um, like when we first met Kondo, kind of, but just live action. So I don't know how I feel about him yet, but we'll see how much that. I'm sure that's going to play into it. Honestly, I'm sure that's going to play into it at some point. Um, that's just going to be like an Achilles heel to the Mandalorian this whole season is going to be him coming up and ruining stuff for Mandalorian's focus of trying to get back to Mandalore. So, yeah, so Lego Star Wars has these the snub fighter. It has some minifigures of Vane and a snub fighter pilot. So I don't know who Vane is, honestly. I'm guessing. Oh, Vane. Vane's the guy. Wait. Yeah, I don't know who Vane is. I guess that's just one of the pilots, maybe? No. Yeah, Vane. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who Vane is. Vane, he looks like a pirate, so yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Maybe he'll be one of the characters. Um, we got Mandalorian and Grogu edition native shoes. Native shoes are kind of like they kind of look like Crocs, but like more like tennis shoe Crocs with no laces. I've seen them around. I'm not a big fan of them though. But if you're a fan, there's a lot of different styles. Um, it looks like they're all for kids. I guess these are kids shoes. I guess so. Yeah, they got like Mandalorian, Grogu designs and all that stuff. So yeah, so all that stuff got released today. Yeah, because we're doing these Mando Tuesday merch every week for the season. So got all those episodes coming out, or all those things coming out. So yeah, so that's kind of everything for the news. Things that's been released that I know of. At least anything that I'm kind of interested in, anyway. But yeah, so uh, last Wednesday, March 1st, 1 year anniversary of Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. Um, Pretty awesome. So, uh, wrong hand. Tabooey to that. As you know, I am a crew member on the Halcyon, and I've been there since I was part of the launch team. So I've been there since the initial run and go, and actually beforehand. So it's been a great ride so far. We are still having a blast. I was there this morning, and the passengers are always great. I had some fun with the passengers today. I'm still doing some training of new crew members. We always got crew members coming in and out. There's not a lot of us left from the very beginning. I have to say that. So everybody's moved on to to different things. Sometimes bigger, sometimes better. Um, so we can't all stay at the same place. But I'm enjoying the ride. I'm enjoying the ride right now. It's a lot of fun. We had a really cool celebration last week. We got together on Star Cruiser property, but kind of in our areas, and we had a lot of people show up from the very beginning. So it was good to see some faces that we hadn't seen in a long time. We had some nice gifts that we were provided. I don't have them up here with me, but we got a copy of The Princess and the Scoundrel, soft cover. I already own the hardcover, but now I got a soft cover and a hardcover, along with a little note from Beth Rivas, the author of Princess and Scoundrel. So that was pretty cool. And we got, what else did we get? They made us a really cool cake. Our chefs in the Crown of Corellia which was really outstanding. Had a lot of cool like Halcyon designs on it. Had the ship on top. It had SK on it. Had a little crew member that looked like our general manager at the Crown of Corellia check-in desk. Had the two bunks in the cabins on one of the tiers, and then they made the little individual cakes, either dark side or light side, depending on what you wanted. I went with light side because it was chocolate. So, but it was really good. A lot of icing. I'm not big on icing cakes, so, but it was fantastic. So I'm still actually munching on that and trying to finish that off. But it was good times. Good times hanging out with the Star Cruiser people. It was actually my day off, and I just spent the whole day hanging out, and we just got to talk. Sometimes you don't really get to know some of your crew back, unless you talk to them outside of the ship. So it's a lot of fun. So and us as the crew and some of the passengers, we're going to get a chance to do this with some of our passengers. If you're a fan and you're close by to Orlando, if you're going to the May the 3rd, 4th cruise, and you're following Heroes of the Halcyon, that we're going to put on that they're going to put on an event. And I say we because we're all together on this, and it's just amazing. Yeah, so down at Disney Springs, and I think there's still tickets left. If you want to grab a ticket and come down to join us on May the 2nd at the Stargazers Lounge at Disney Springs. We're going to have some good fun there, some things for charity as well, I believe. And yeah, so if you're in and around Orlando and you're a Star Cruiser passenger, or if you're a Star Cruiser fan, yeah, check out the tickets. There's a link to the event, I believe. If you follow Heroes of the Halcyon, you can find out all about that. They've done some posts on that. So yeah, just head over there and follow them. So we're gonna have some great fun that night. So I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive, honestly. It's gonna be good fun. And I'll get to hang out with some of the passengers and get to know them a little bit better, rather than giving them information about my fake life on the Halcyon. So it'll be a lot of fun. It will be. And I'm sure a lot of those are going to be going to Celebration too. So it'll be great to maybe catch up with them, because it'll be after Celebration. So it'll be pretty cool. Maybe I'll get to meet some of them ahead of time in London. So this will be pretty awesome. So, and let's see what else is going on. So I was thinking about some things today, because there was a lot that kind of happened in Star Wars history today. A couple things. I'm actually watching Return of the Jedi right now, because today was the anniversary of Return of the Jedi Special Edition releasing in theaters. This was actually the only one that, unfortunately, I did not get to see when it was released in the special edition. But however, Return of the Jedi was the first movie that I saw as a child. So released in 1983, I was like 4 years old. That was the first Star Wars movie that I saw in the theaters. So it has a special place for me. When the special edition came out, I didn't go see it because I was like boycotting it or anything, but I was sick. So I actually was in the hospital then. So I ended up not being able to go see Return of the Jedi. I saw Star Wars. They were released, how they did that when the special editions were released. They did them like one a month. And I saw Star Wars A New Hope special edition in the theater. I saw Empire Strikes Back special edition in the theaters. But Return of the Jedi, I bought tickets, but I ended up in the hospital and I could not go and see it, unfortunately, in the theater. When I did finally get to see it, and honestly, did I go? I don't know if I ended up seeing it after. I think by the time I got out of the hospital, I think it was already gone, honestly, which was kind of upsetting. But so when it came out, and I threw a post on Reddit today because I was curious like what people would like say about it. So a lot of people give a lot of negativity to the special editions. I see them as a gateway to what was to come, because obviously Lucasfilm was always a company that was trying to move forward, kind of like Disney. And sometimes you gotta experiment, and this was kind of the experimental phase. George Lucas going back, things that he may have wanted to do a little bit more with the films, but didn't have the technology. It still didn't come out quite right, according to like the fans. But I kind of get it. But Return of the Jedi was probably the one that I would say probably the special edition is probably my least favorite out of the three. Jabba's palace. I love the creature. I love the creatures of Star Wars. I love the background characters. I love all that stuff. And Max Rebo's band, like growing, that was cool. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the different characters that were added. I like the harmonica guy, by the way. One of my favorite additions to Max Rebo's band is the harmonica guy. So cool. And the backup singers. I mean, the backup singers are ridiculous. That was really cool. I didn't really care too much for Boba Fett flirting with him, so I didn't see that as being his character. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but especially now that we have the Book of Boba Fett, it's like I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's his style. But continuity just doesn't add up. Yeah. So Cy Snoodles, that kind of irritated me a little bit because the whole puppet thing's amazing, and then to kind of replace it with a CG character. I understand that they couldn't get the puppet to do what they wanted it to do originally, and the song, didn't like the change of the song, so not happy with the change of the song either. Jedi Rocks, I could leave it. Honestly, all the songs that were changed in Special Edition, I could leave it. I'd take the old ones every time. The Ewok Celebration, Yub Nub, it's got a place in my heart. I mean, I was 4 years old when I went and saw Return of the Jedi. The song just fits the end of that film. If they could have maybe melded it into the Victory Celebration song, because I like the whole going to other planets and seeing the downfall of the Empire across other worlds, especially on Coruscant. That was our first look at Coruscant, and like the pulling down of the statues of the Emperor, all that. I thought that was cool. Going back to Jabba's palace, probably my favorite thing about the special edition, which nobody had mentioned in my post. Nobody put anything positive. Well, everybody was putting positive things, but they were getting wrong because they were putting like Blu-ray stuff in, which maybe we'll talk about that another time. But the Ula, I thought that was amazing. The scene with Ula falling into the Rancor pit. I think to me, that scene, for one thing, it's amazing to be able to bring the original actress back, over 10 years later, and have her step into that role and you can't even tell the difference. So that was pretty amazing. And for like her falling into the Rancor pit and just seeing her, but it didn't take away from the mystery of the Rancor for later. To me, it kind of built up to it because it made it more terrifying, because you look at her face and she knew it was going to happen. And then you go back, exit out, and you hear the screams. So like when Luke is standing on there and, we know what's about to happen, I think it gives it that little bit more of a edge of your seat moment. When we first, get to see that confrontation between Luke and the Rancor. So, yeah, so Return of the Jedi, kind of wondering what people's thoughts are about the special edition. Do you like the originals? I mean, honestly, the cleaning up of the film, you can't beat that. You go back, and I have the original copies of the movies. go back and watch the original copies of the movies and the graininess of them. Special editions, they did a lot for the sound, for the quality of the picture. It made it look a lot better, sound a lot better too. So, because you had that THX sound, that's from the surround sound, all the different mixes of the sound. That state of the art. So we wouldn't be there without. We wouldn't have that without the special editions. So, yeah. Do I think they were good? I mean, that's what we got now. That's what we got now. I mean, you can go back and watch the old ones. I got the old ones. You can get them. Sure, you can find them somewhere. I know I got them, so I'm sure you can get them. I have them on DVD. So it was a really weird release. I don't know anybody else that has them, honestly. I don't even know how I got them or where I got them. But yeah, it's like teeny tiny little. Yeah, it's interesting watching the old ones. It really is, especially on a good quality TV. It makes it look horrible. It looks horrible on a good quality TV. You can see every little grain of dirt and whatever else is on that film when you watch it. So even the special editions, honestly, like I'm watching it right now, and this is not the Blu-ray. Very grainy, very grainy. So it's interesting to go back and watch some of the other versions of the films every once in a while. So it's moving along really quick too. I didn't realize how quickly the first part of the movie like goes and how much of the end. Like I always forget that kind of stuff sometimes when I'm watching it. Like I literally watched this, like started it like right before the podcast, and I'm already at they're heading to Endor. So it's crazy. It's 40 minutes in. So I mean almost halfway, I guess halfway through the movie. So it makes sense, I guess. I just can't believe time flies when you're watching Star Wars. Another thing that happened today was the anniversary of Clone Wars Season 6, The Lost Missions, was released on Netflix. And to my knowledge, I think this was like the first time that like a whole. I'm pretty sure it was the first time. Yeah, because all the other Clone Wars seasons like dropped once a week. And this was the first time we ever got like one full Clone Wars season. And it wasn't a full season. It was only, I think, 13 episodes or so. But the Lost Missions, because we thought this was going to be the last, actually. And it ended up not. We ended up getting a season 7, which was great. This wasn't really ever supposed to, like season 5, it was supposed to be a season 6 that was supposed to be longer. They canceled the Clone Wars, and then they said, okay, we're going to go back and make some of those episodes, some of the critical episodes, which a lot of them are really awesome. So it was really good that we got to see these. I watched a couple of them today, the first 3 actually, which was a really cool story arc because it deals with a mess up with Order 66. That's the one where Tubbs, the inhibitor chip, fails early. And then Fives goes on the mission to figure out what happens. And then, of course, we know that Fives does not make it out. So, actually, that was more than that, right? That was a big story arc, because that was a 4-episode story arc. You know, and I didn't even finish it yet. Yeah, because I didn't even finish episode 3. So yeah, the first 4 were a good story arc. The episodes, The Unknown, Conspiracy, Fugitive, and Orders. And then totally forgot AZ, when they go to Camino, we meet AZ for the first time, that's in Bad Batch. So totally forgot about that. So that was really cool to see AZ again. I love watching series. I just talked about the other day, Innocence of Ryloth. Clone Wars season 1, and I can't remember what episode, But that story arc, but the innocence of Ryloth, where they meet Nala, and then later on, when we get into Rebels, Nala is an adult with Cham Syndulla, and Gobi, I think, was the other Twi'lek. And it was cool to be able to see Nala again, older. So I love it when they do that with these smaller side characters, and you kind of remember them from way back, maybe even a different series, and they come back in a different era, and we get to see them again. So, but yeah, so season 6 had those first 4 episodes that were a season, an arc. There was episode 5 was an old friend. I think this was another story arc. This is with Clovis, which we always wonder if Clovis is going to come back. I know I've heard people mention that. So we got Old Friend, The Rise of Clovis, Crisis at the Heart. That was a story arc. Those 3. So yeah, that was I can't really remember much about that. I want to watch all these again. And then the last story arc was with Yoda, mostly. So we had the Disappeared, and then we had the Lost one, and then Voices. I think that was all the episodes. No, that wasn't all the episodes. That's right. Yeah, I don't think it Disappeared. Was that as part of the story arc? I can't remember. It was, yeah. So episode 8 was the Disappeared, and 9. That was a twofer. The Disappeared Part 1, Disappeared Part 2. I think that was just a one-off. Well, a 2-off. And then the Lost one, that was episode 10. And then Voices, Destiny, and Sacrifice. That was the last 3 that was the Yoda story arc, which was really cool. Got into a lot of the Force lore, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I want to go back and watch season 6. It's been a while since I've watched season 6. And watching the first 3 episodes, they're probably my favorite out of that whole season. But there's a lot of good stories that came out of that. So glad they went back, and glad they weren't lost forever. Let's just put it that way. It's a good thing they weren't lost forever. So, but yeah, a lot of firsts. Like I said, a lot of firsts this week. Season 3, episode 1 of Mandalorian. First year anniversary of Star Cruiser. And yeah, so good times. First celebration in London coming up soon. Man, it's crazy. One more month left. This is like nuts. But and again, I really apologize for me not being able to have comments on this today. I don't know what's going on with my YouTube. It's like not good. But anyway, it probably would have gone a little bit longer, because if I would have had some people join in, be able to comment, I like feeding off of comments. And that's the reason why I'm doing this live, is because of that. I hope that I can get this fixed for next week. I'm going to try to do this every week now, because especially with 2 episodes coming out, that being the Clone Wars and the Mandalorian, I want to dive into those a little bit each week. So, and sometimes I never know what's going to happen. I don't know like how much I'm going to want to talk about it, but I want to see what's going on for the next weeks. So we got 2 episodes coming out tomorrow. I honestly don't know what's going to happen. I'm confused when it comes to Mandalorian right now. I don't know where he's going to go or what's going to happen next. I do know Bad Batch. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Bad Batch either. I mean, they did contact Rex or they're going to contact Rex and Echo. So maybe we'll meet back up with Rex and Echo again. I just have this feeling that things are going to start to come together with Bad Batch pretty quickly. Things are going to start coming together. So it's going to start wrapping up soon, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Star Cruiser. I'm off for a couple days on Star Cruiser. I'll be back on Friday, and then next week I'm there 5 days. So training new crew members next week. Got some new crew members coming in, so that'll be fun. I'm there every morning, pretty much. Don't really like being there in the mornings, but because not a lot happens in the mornings. But it's fun regardless. It's Star Cruiser. What can I say? I was gonna try to go to Batu this week. I don't know. I might go to Batu on Thursday. I don't know if I have a reservation, honestly, to Galaxy's Edge. Might have to see if I can't get a reservation. Because I'm not really working, but I was gonna try to work somewhere else. I don't know. We'll see. But I haven't been to Galaxy's Edge in a while, so I got to get back there, see what's up at Galaxy's Edge. I've had some people tell me about some things that I've never seen before, and I want to go check them out. So I don't want to wait till May to go to Galaxy's Edge, and April's going to be really busy. So I would like to go to Galaxy's Edge before the end of the month. That's going to be a really big goal, once or twice. I also want to go to Epcot. Not Star Wars related, but Epcot has the Flower and Garden Festival. So, what else has been going on outside of Star Wars? Anything interesting outside of Star Wars that I've been doing? Not really, not much at all. Nothing interesting that I've watched lately, honestly. Yeah, I'm good. It's all about Star Wars recently, anyway. But yep. So I guess that's going to be about it. I might cut this a little short tonight. I got a long day tomorrow. Got a lot of stuff to do. So I'm going to go ahead and let this fly. So again, apologies for the non-comment ability on my YouTube channel. If you'd like to make a comment about this episode, go ahead and follow me on Instagram, the Crucial Crew Member on Instagram. You can also follow me on Twitter. It's Crucial Crew 2021. Crucial Crew 2021. You would think I would know my handles better. Yeah, Crucial Crew 2021 on Twitter. You can also listen to this podcast on Spotify or Google Podcasts, as well as relive it on the YouTube channel. Obviously, you're not going to get the glorious look of me in front of my wall of random Star Wars stuff that sometimes changes because I throw some different stuff up there every once in a while. Threw some Return of the Jedi stuff up there this week because I got my little Max Rebo plushie up there. I put up a Return of the Jedi poster. Got some of my old figures like a Biker Scout, the Darth Vader Power of the Force with the removable helmet. And then I got my little friend Quacky Monkey Lizard back here. He didn't laugh at all. I didn't really tell any jokes though. But yeah, so next week is another week. I'll be able to do this on Tuesday, so this will be broadcast again on Tuesday, and we'll see what we can do to make this a little bit better of an experience. Again, Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. I am Jay. I am the Crucial Crew member. This is a Crucial Crew podcast. This is Space Goats, Space Oats, Space Goats. This is not Thor, Love and Thunder. This is the Space Oats podcast. Have a great night. May the stars light your way.